Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Point for Point Podcast. I am your host, The Ref, and I regretfully have to inform you that Ben Simmons is on the move again, prolonging his NBA career. I know to some of you that's just a disgusting report, as it is to me, but it is the truth. According to our guy Shams, Shams is a very valid source. Sham said, according to league sources in the NBA, that upon Ben Simmons clearing waivers, he will be joining the Los Angeles Clippers, unfortunately. We're going to get this clock started, ladies and gentlemen. It's only going to take us 10 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Simmons is on the move again to sit on somebody else's bench and steal as much money as possible, huh? Do you guys remember when Ben Simmons came into the league? If you remember when Ben Simmons came into the league, you will know that there was reports on him coming out of LSU of his pros and his cons. Something that the Philadelphia 76ers should have picked up on. But now that most teams probably know better, they know if the Philadelphia 76ers go into one direction, then it's best that you go in the other. Okay? Whoever they're going to get, just get the opposite guy. And more than likely, you're going to get a guy that can take you to the championship. Okay? When Ben Simmons came out, the reports was talking about how much did he really love the game? Was he willing to actually put forth the effort and becoming the best player that he possibly could be? And most of that was in question. So why are we going to sit here now and act surprised that Ben Simmons had been sitting on teams' benches forever and just collecting money? It's not a surprise. The moment for me, the oh my goodness moment for me, was when there were reports that one of the greatest basketball players of all time, one Kobe Bean Bryant, approached Ben Simmons and told him in those big ears that he has, okay, that look, if you want a long, successful career in the NBA, then without a shadow of a doubt, you need to develop a jump shot. Mid-range. And I knew exactly why Kobe was telling him that. Because even when Kobe got older, LeBron James is actually doing it right now also, that they all had a low post mid-range game in their wheelhouse. That when they could no longer jump over the backboard and jump over defenders, they started taking them down in the box. And they started loving having the contact. They actually wanted to feel the player, pause. But they wanted to know where the defender was, and they could actually turn their backs to the basket and create their own shots. This is something that Ben Simmons never did, nor do I think he was ever capable of doing it. Now, he always struck me as the type of kid, right? He always struck me as the type that was probably the biggest player on the floor growing up. So whoever was coaching him didn't take the time to develop him properly. Okay, I believe he grew up in Australia because I can't see him growing up in the United States and coming into the NBA being so I would say basically on a scale, if it was compared to school, his play would be remedial. I just can't see him coming into the league without having those tools in that arsenal in his chest to be able to extend his career. He came into this game without a jump shot in the NBA. That would be considered being remedial on some levels compared to what these guys are professionals in the NFL. They will be considered scholars. They will be considered scholars in their profession. And here he comes with a remedial game, and he expects to go 15 years in the NBA without having a jump shot. He didn't think that they was going to find that out fast. He was so used to being the biggest kid on the floor and not having to shoot a jump shot because he was able to get to the rim and get whatever he wanted against lesser competition. They figured that out immediately in the NBA to the point where he never even really got off the ground. The weirdest part about this is that strikes me so odd is that he's a 3-time NBA All-Star. And I don't know why. I don't know where. I don't know why. I don't know how it happened. I don't remember him having a great season like that. I don't remember having great seasons like that. I remember him being known as a defender. He being decent as a defender. But he never had an offensive game. And he couldn't even shoot foul shots. Now, we don't take mental illness lightly around here, but we know the sports psychiatry is real. And we support that in sports because we know that people do go through things and they get mental blocks. But, when I was coming up in sports, that was just like you either afraid or you just choking. They didn't put all these terms to it, all these medical terms to it. Either are you afraid or are you choking? Which one is it? You didn't play all of these years and then all of a sudden you got to the NBA and you started having these issues. Why did these issues just pop up when you got into the NBA? This guy is on the foul line shooting the ball with one hand. He's pushing the ball with one hand trying to make foul shots. He goes off and works during the off season in Los Angeles, and he sends back videos of him working out and supposedly working on his jump shot and playing pickup ball with certain players, that freestyle game, just a pickup game. He would be great in the YMCA. But when it comes to organized basketball, he seems to fail. He seems to absolutely fail. He seems to come up short. It's ridiculous. But how ironic that he, at the end of all of this, right? Because I believe that we're coming to the end of the tunnel in his career. Because I believe he's going to just go to the Los Angeles Clippers and he's going to sit on the bench, defend a few minutes and just go sit on the bench. But he ends up in the place where everybody always thought he wanted to be. Where was that? Being a model. Right in Los Angeles. Right in Los Angeles, right there where he can go and get that other career started that he always wanted to do. And this is what came out in his drafting reports. They didn't know that he really loved basketball. Well, I'm starting to realize that now that he loves something else. I bet you he will put 10 times more effort into becoming a model than he will basketball. And it's a shame. It really is. It's a shame because, there's a lot of money being put into this guy. A lot of money. A lot of expectations. Now, for the life of me, I don't know what the Los Angeles Clippers see, but maybe they think they can get something out of him that the other teams couldn't. I mean, I hate to tell them and hate to break the bad news to them, but I think the only reason that he is with them is because of location, locale. You're just closer to his real dreams of being a model. The good weather, he's able to get to wherever he has to get to. I mean, they got to pay close attention to that. I mean, to be honest with you, if I was signing this guy, that would be in the contract. That I mean, seriously, there would have to be something in his contract where I know he's putting more effort into becoming a great basketball player than a great model. I'm not trying to stop anybody from living outside of the game, but this is your number one job, and he's being paid more money in basketball than he ever thought of in modeling. Okay? We've never seen him anywhere on, doing anything really for the modeling thing. That's on a national platform like the NBA. We talk about Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons has been sitting on the bench for teams for a very long time. And now it's crazy that he ends up on the same team with James Harden, who the Sixers actually got from the Nets, where he was at. You know, it's like unbelievable because, you know, this guy is like he's like a one of a kind. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in my life where a guy really is in a profession where he's being paid handsomely and he just won't he just won't commit himself to being the best that he can be. Or maybe he is. Maybe he's hit the ceiling. I don't see it, but maybe he has. You know, you got to exhaust all possibilities when it comes down to somebody paying you to do a job. And I'm talking about good money. They paid him good money to be in Brooklyn. He spent more time on that bench sitting on 2 or 3 cushions than he did on the floor. And I'm confident in saying that I know damn well Brooklyn didn't get their return on investment. The money that they invested in him and what he put down on the floor, there's no comparison, man. He owes them people money. I would consider that theft. You know what I mean? I would consider that theft because no team has really gotten the best Ben Simmons. So, it would behoove me to think that he's going to go to Los Angeles and it's going to be the same. No, I just think he's going to be closer to where he always wanted to be. He's in the city of angels. He'll be able to get that modeling career off to wherever he thinks that's going. But Los Angeles Clippers, you really gambled on this, and I have to say good luck to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you guys for joining me tonight on the Point for Point podcast. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And please leave your comments below because I would like to hear what you Point for Point Pistols have to say about this conversation on Ben Simmons, because it is one of the most odd situations in NBA history when it comes to a guy. When you're talking about a number one selection, I mean, the Philadelphia 76ers selected this guy number 1. And he kind of like left him hanging. This guy was a part of the process with Joel Embiid. And look at what he's doing now. I mean, it's a shame. It's a lot of money out there for players that are coming up short. But in any event, I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode of the Point for Point podcast. I'd like to thank you for joining me. And Los Angeles Clippers, good luck. And ladies and gentlemen, God bless. And I'll see you on the next episode.